What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and today we're doing a super exciting, super duper speed rebuild, everybody. So what you're going to see here is me just quickly trade for the same 10 players, something like that, and we're going to make a dream team, okay? And let's go! Now, this is by request of you guys on Twitter. It's going to be a speed rebuild in terms of it's going to be quicker than a realistic rebuild, just because I've already done 2 rebuilds with the Browns, and I think the moves that they made are definitely in the right direction. But, I'm ready to stop milking the Browns for views. But in light of the trades that they made to bring in Mr. Tyrod Taylor and to bring in Mr. Jarvis Landry, I want to see what would happen. I'm not going to, I might play if we make a playoff push. I'm just going to go 3 years. This is starting at the end of the 2017 season. So they went 0-16. And what I actually did was I gave the Texans, which is their second first-round pick, their 4 and whatever record. And I missed it by a little bit. But either way, it wouldn't have worked out. We got the number 2 pick. We had pick number 1 and pick number 2, where in reality the Browns had pick 1 and 4, which wouldn't have happened anyway. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. And what the premise of this is going to be is we're not going to draft a quarterback year 1. I'm going to go under the assumption that John Dorsey and company think that they can win with Tyrod Taylor. Tyrod Taylor is definitely a quarterback capable of getting a team to the, I don't want to say Super Bowl, but into the playoffs. They did with the Bills, and the Bills were severely undermanned. And they did that with the botch game where they played Nathan Peterman. But just for sake of this, and the fact that I've done, who have we had? We've had Rosen or something go to the Browns. We've had Darnold. They're going with Tyrod. Tyrod is going to be their quarterback for the sake of this rebuild. And we're going to build a team up around him. And how we're going to do that, I don't quite know yet, but we're going to find out. So let's jump into the offseason. See if there's any, guys we want to re-sign, sign maybe in free agency, and then we'll pop right into the draft. All right, so we didn't sign anyone in free agency. It's not like this year's in real life free agency draft class where there's studs after studs. So we saved our money, and here is our draft class. So with the first overall pick, because we're committing to Tyrod Taylor, we got Saquon Barkley. Now, I modified the stats here on Saquon because I think he's going to get an 84 and be a superstar because he's the best player in the draft. He's an absolute stud. With the second pick, which is actually number 4, but he will be there. I think they're going to go Minkah Fitzpatrick, the safety from Alabama. Pretty much like for like stats, obviously a little bit different in terms of an athlete, but with what Jamal Adams got for the Jets, 80-81 superstar dev, I think that's pretty much going to be a given for Minkah Fitzpatrick, who is undisputedly the best defensive back, I think, in this year's draft class, and you probably could say he's the best defensive player. I think I probably would edge him over Bradley Chubb. But yeah, Saquon Barkley and Minkah Fitzpatrick, you're debatably getting talent 1 and 2 in this year's draft class. And the Browns, they're in this position to do that. So this is what I would do if I was the Browns GM. Then in the second round, I didn't modify any stats. I got a 79 wide receiver, which I made Christian Kirk from Texas A&M. I think when you're the Browns wide receiver, you don't know if you're going to be able to re-sign Jarvis Landry long term. He might only be there for the 1 year on the tag. You never know what the availability of Josh Gordon is going to look like, and Corey Coleman is struggling to stay healthy. So I think at this point, if a guy like Christian Kirk is there in the second round, which he probably will be, I think you go and get yourself a dynamic playmaker that not only can contribute on special teams right away, but probably can develop into a nice wide receiver for your quarterback. Then the second round, I went best player available again, and it was tight end Mike Gesicki. I just drafted a 79 tight end. Obviously, I modified his stats here a little bit because Gesicki tore up the combine. But I think, 2 tight end sets might come in vogue. We all remember the New England Patriots with Rob Gronkowski and Aaron Hernandez. Philadelphia, to a limited extent last year with Zach Ertz and Trey Burton. I think getting 2 athletic freaks like Mike Gesicki and having David Njoku is pretty nice. Then we last modified prospect in the 4th round. We get a stud right tackle, which I made a player whose stock is free falling after one of the worst combine performances of all time, Orlando Brown. 77 quick was the base stats. I actually went in and modified. I had to switch some things around. I gave his run block, pass block, and impact blocking a big up because his strength is terrible. His speed, acceleration, athletic ability is absolutely terrible. But he probably has walked his way in to start at right tackle for the Cleveland Browns. And the Browns aren't afraid of taking guys with potential frags. They took Caleb Brantley from my Florida Gators, who had some off-field stuff. And he's looking like he's going to be a meaningful member of that roster. So we are going with Orlando Brown. That is pretty much our draft class, but I think if the Cleveland Browns can walk out with Orlando Brown, Mike Gesicki, Christian Kirk, Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Saquon Barkley, that is definitely an A+ draft class. So let's get into the next season. All right, so here is season 2, and in just 1 year, no negatives, 8-8. So we went from 0-16 to 8-8. I don't think there's a single Cleveland Brown fan that is 1 game back in the AFC North after a draft like that that would be upset. Looking at the stats here, Tyrod Taylor, respectable season. Great season for Tyrod, Taylor standards, 4,200 yards, 30 TDs, to 10 picks. Like, that's pretty damn good. Running the ball, we get 1,000 yards, 4 TDs here from Saquon Barkley. Obviously, the running attack here was not too great, and you would assume that Saquon Barkley in real life would have probably fairly similar to like what Kareem Hunt would get, especially if he goes to the Browns that have a really good O-line. But that was just the way the sim played it. Jarvis Landry, 79 catches, 1,300 yards, 9 TDs. Very good. 774 and 3 from Josh Gordon. Almost 1,000 yards and 6 TDs here from Christian Kirk. 772 and 5 from Njoku. Very good. 203 from Saquon Barkley. Pressed. On the defensive front, 145 tackles, 2.5 sacks, 3 picks. Joe Schobert, 105, and 4 picks from Demarius Randall, who's the player they acquired in the trade with the Green Bay Packers that sent Deshaun Kaiser, and I believe they flipped picks. With a sacks front, 10 sacks from Myles Garrett, 6 from Agba, 5.5 Jamie Collins, 5.5 Ogunjobi. Definitely could be up there on the sacks front. And Jason McCourty also chipped in with 3 interceptions on the season. Well, I don't know if we're going to get anyone here in the yearly awards. Nope. Oh my God, Nick Foles on the Saints. Okay. But Fournette here winning the MVP. Did we get any respect for Coach of the Year because we're the Browns and we went 8-8? Oh, come on. Offensive Player of the Year went to Leonard Fournette. Oh, Tyrod at number 10. Very nice. Joe Schobert at 10. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Saquon Barkley coming in at number 2. Christian Kirk at 4. Our fullback at 7. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to, okay, Casey Daniel coming in number 2. Okay, who's that? Nick Fitzpatrick at 8. Shout out to Casey Daniel, everybody. But ultimately, going from 0-16 to 8-8, very nice. This is season 1. We're going to do 2 more years. We're going in the right direction. Let's see if we can have a splashy free agency period. We have a bunch of draft picks once again. Let's do the damn thing. In the free agency period, things did not go well. In-house signings, as we pretty much lost a couple big dogs. So we're going to try to bring in Robbie Anderson, the speedster from the Jets, Fowler, Trey Waynes. Tyrod Taylor did not want to re-sign and simply was not going to pay him the franchise tag, even though he had a solid year. So we're the leading bidder. Look at Buffalo. Come on, Buffalo. Danny Shelton does not want to come back, and he got a massive bid from the Dolphins because either the Dolphins or the Redskins, no matter what you do in free agency, they always have, they always pay 10 times as much as everyone else. Plus Ogunjobi's better, which is nice. So, yeah, kind of hope for the sake of the video, Tyrod wants to come back. Maybe we'll improve the offer here a little bit. We'll round the numbers. We'll give him 420 swag and 8, and we'll give him 9. A cool 9 mil to come back to the team. That's a 98. Make a little bit of a splash here in free agency. Let's see what we got. Fowler came. Delano Hill, Tyrod. We got every single guy. Very nice. Pop into the draft. All right, so post-draft, here is who we added in the first round of our draft class. We're able to bring in a tackle because Joe Thomas has retired, and we get an 80 overall tackle, which we made Trey Adams from Washington, who is very much a legitimate first-round talent for the 2019 draft. And we had 2 first-round picks yet again, and our other pick, we got an 84. He was actually an 83. I guess he's an 84 in the scheme. Defensive tackle, normal dev, which we made Christian Wilkins from Clemson. Next year's draft class is absolutely absurd with defensive tackles, but because this pick was like 15th, I wasn't going to use, the Ed Olivers, the Dexter Lawrences, or the Rashawn. Well, he's undersized for Rashawn Gary anyway. So we went with Christian Wilkinson. There's probably a chance that like 4 to 5 defensive tackles go in the first round of the 2019 draft. That is how stacked it is. Looking at the rest of the team, we have Tyrod here, 83. Saquon Barkley's up to a 90. Jarvis Landry, Christian Kirk, Robbie Anderson, Corey Coleman, and Josh Gordon make up what is probably the best wide receiver core in the NFL, I would say, to go along with 380 tight ends here. Gesicki, DeValve, and David Njoku's up to an 89. The offensive line is pretty solid. Petonio, 87. Zeitler, 86. Good guard play. Defensively, we got Minka Fitzpatrick's an 84. Kirksey, 81. When Jamie Collins is the weak link on your defense, you're probably doing all right. Demarius Randall's and Trey Waynes will start Buffalo Bills. Oh my God, Gesicki's a beast! How did he take that in? First of all, terrible blocking by the offensive line. And then just T-Mobile gets it off. Freakishly athletic tight end out of Penn State. Mike Gesicki rips it off for 50 yards. Let's go. Oh, Gesicki with the 95 jumping. Are you kidding me? This guy's a beast. We did enough to get over the finish line, which we did. A clean 20-3 victory and a Cleveland Brown playoff victory. Tyrod Taylor, it was tough. It was snowing. The Bills defense was pretty good. Look at that. Held Saquon Barkley to 31 yards. Only 100 yards for Tyrod, 2 TDs. But it was the Mike Gesicki show. 2 big touchdowns. One was absolutely absurd. I think Mike Gesicki is like a guy not a lot of people are talking about when you're bringing in the discussion about overpowered Madden 19 rookies. Sure, you got the Saquon Barkleys, the DJ Charks, you know, some of the safeties. I think Gesicki might be as freaky as any of them. All right, moving on to the AFC Divisional Round. My God, Mike Gesicki is absolutely absurd. Look, I didn't even... Oh, I hate this, man. I didn't even hit the spin move, and he automatically did that. I hit the juke, and then the computer hit the spin. If I don't even hit the spin, I might have took that to the house. God, that's frustrating. Let's see this. Okay, makes the catch. Trucks, right? That was me. Juke, that was me. And look at this. And spin move for no... I mean, 24 probably would have made that tackle, but that was frustrating, man. Gesicki's OP. Whoa, there we go. Robbie Anderson, touchdown. Pulling us back. Too bad our sim defense is not stopping them whatsoever. Oh, there we go. Juice giving us the lead. Nice little swan kick there. Oh, there we go. Look, doesn't look pretty. Stumbled in like a drunken idiot. But Saquon Barkley just put the nail in the coffin for the Browns to move on to the AFC Championship. And there you have it, 24-21. Your Cleveland Browns are moving on. We did the impossible, and we beat the Chargers in the sim. 272 and 2 from Tyrod Taylor, 50 yards and a touchdown from Saquon. That's where I think we're playing the Jags in the championship. Let's get into it. All right, here we go in the championship against the Jags. Let's see if they fixed the QB sneak. I'm going to say they probably didn't. This could be a bad decision. Let's go! What? Oh, you better believe we go to Josh Gordon against the Jags D to tie it up in the 4th. And there's the cheese, and we're not gonna be able to catch him. And there's the gifted touchdown. All right, I'm just gonna back out of this one. I don't know if we're gonna win. If we can get a touchdown here, that's interesting. Oh no, there you go. Yeah, after that fumble, I knew that the scripting was kicking in and we weren't gonna win. But, you know, if you told the Browns within 2 years of all these trades that they made and drafting well, that they would be a game away from the Super Bowl, I think most Brown fans would think that that is something short of a miracle, which is what we're able to accomplish here today. And it wasn't from the shittiness of the Madden 18 sim. Who knows how far we would have been able to go. But ultimately, I hope you guys didn't like this speedy, that's what I call it, a speedy rebuild for the Cleveland Browns with all the transactions they made in the last 36 hours. As always, guys, if you enjoy this type of video, smash that like button. If it's your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.